नमस्ते दोस्तों, मैं अतुल जोशी AMV न्यूज़ में फिर से एक बार आपको हार्दिक स्वागत करता हूं। AMV न्यूज़ जैसे कि आपको मालूम है, AMV न्यूज़ में हर मंगलवार में रात को 8 बजे यूट्यूब चैनल पर, फेसबुक पर, इंस्टाग्राम एंड व्हाट्सएप के ऊपर ये न्यूज़ टेलीकास्ट होते हैं और स्पेशल ये न्यूज़ में आपको फ़ोटो वीडियोग्राफी रिलेटेड ही इन्फॉर्मेशन हम लोग यहाँ से देते हैं।
If you don't print your photographs now, do you think the earlier we used to have zip drives, we used to have floppy disks, you aren't able to read them now.
Right.
What if you've saved images? I have a zip drive, I'll show you. I still have a zip drive. I have data in that. I can't read them.
I believe you make a relation, you maintain it for the longest of periods.
Absolutely,
so the relations will always continue. Yeah.
बड़े मुश्किल से तो relation बनते हैं. तो I ask people, you show me your first few digital photographs, or you have the first 5 digital photographs that you've taken. Many of them they say, sorry, आपने लिए क्यों थे वो photograph? Because that moment was special, right?
Yeah.
But you lost them.
Yes. Hi Vimal.
Hey Sujit,
Welcome to Ink Stories.
thank you for having me here, Sujit.
I met you at the exhibition a few months back, and I was introduced to you that you are like a walking dictionary in terms of the photo industry, and I was since then wanting to have you on the podcast for our guests to know more about the photo industry.
Thank you so much for having me here, Sujit. I remember our meeting. It was a very brief,
Very brief, yes.
meeting.
Couple of minutes, yes.
I did, give
You
my card
left an
and-
impression.
No, I think it's the other way around. But no, thank you for having me here. I've been through a couple of your episodes, enjoyed watching them. And
Thanks.
I think you're doing a brilliant job as far as these podcasts are
Thank you.
concerned.
Thank you.
Keep them.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. So, just starting, I think, we have not done any guest as yet from the photo industry. So, for our viewers who are not familiar with the photo industry, other than photo जो हम लोग पासपोर्ट के लिए यूज़ करते हैं या स्कूल के एडमिशन के लिए फोटोग्राफ यूज़ करते हैं, उसके अलावा फोटो इंडस्ट्री इज मच बिगर. सो कैन यू जस्ट गिव अस अ brief idea about what the photo industry is all about?
पहले तो earlier it was only photography, right? I mean photography and offset.
Okay.
They were watertight compartments.
अच्छा.
I would say not just the photo, say photo imaging.
अच्छा.
Where digital presses, they also print a person today, a lab owner who has a digital press, prints photographs as well as products that fall into the general commercial.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
So it's photo imaging is what, not just photography.
So
but
that's
that
the right
primarily becomes only photo. I think it's the entire imaging spectrum is what. It's a fascinating industry. Earlier, of course, it was like what we would shoot. We would always print. No more. It's like the kind of digital images, the bombardment of digital images that are happening. But the small segment, I mean, that prints, the numbers are immense. The numbers are huge.
Yeah.
So it's an exciting industry to be in.
So when you say the photo industry, it involves all kinds of photographs, like right from जो फोटो पासपोर्ट्स में यूज़ होता है, जो वेडिंग एल्बम्स हैं, या और कोई इंडस्ट्री है, ऑफसेट में देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ कमर्शियल रिप्रोडक्शन दैट हैपेंस. सो ऑल दैट इज टुगेदर और दे आर सेपरेट, और हाउ डू यू डिफाइन इट?
Lab owners also print calendars. They print photo calendars, I would say. Photo collage, I would say. Photo greeting cards, I would say. Right. Today, a family with their photograph.
So the line is very blurred now. It is mix and match. It's not like
totally. It's
separate नहीं है पहले जैसे.
पहले जैसे separate. No more watertight
Okay,
compartments.
okay.
An offset person with a digital press can move into
Can
photo.
also do that.
A photo guy can
Which
move
was not
into-
the case earlier.
Which was not the case.
Okay. The lines are getting blurred.
Yeah, it's a difficult for a person who's new to photography. It's difficult to get in, but once you get in, I think non-wedding space अगर हम लेते हैं consumer photo books, then it's very easy for someone either field to get in there.
Okay. Actually, even I never thought of it like that. And you answering that gave me a much more clearer perspective that हाँ ये दोनों का कहाँ खड़े हैं आज market में. Great. And one thing that I've noticed, I was going through your profile on LinkedIn, we are connected. You write a lot about why not print. So tell us more about why not print and what is this entire story. And you've been doing this quite frequently. तो क्या है इसका कहानी?
The industry has given me a lot, Sujit. Whatever I am today, it's because of the printing and the photography industry.
Correct.
Of course, I've also played a small role in the medical imaging film. In that medical imaging space. Industry has given me a lot. So post retirement, I thought that I should do something. It's kind of my doing something for the industry, and this is where I'm talking about promoting print. If you don't print your photographs now, do you think the earlier we used to have zip drives, we used to have floppy disks, you aren't able to read them now.
Right.
What if you've saved images? I have a zip drive, I'll show you. I still have a zip drive. I have data in that. I can't read them.
Oh, actually, what you say makes so much sense कि अगर floppy में कोई data है वो तो मैं खोल ही नहीं सकता
नहीं
आज.
खोल सकते. CD आजकल कहाँ ड्राइव्स भी नहीं
है.
आप कहते हो क्लाउड एवरीथिंग ऑन क्लाउड.
कल को क्लाउड ही नहीं रहा तो कुछ और फॉर्मेट में चला गया.
कंपनी गेट सोल्ड और वहाँ the cost, and that's not cheap, right? That's expensive to store. So the ideal thing is to print. And first and foremost, I say don't print. That's my stand.
Okay.
Please don't print. Why would you need to print? But if you print, that has to be on the finest substrate and the finest quality. Print
Okay.
करो ही नहीं.
Okay.
Why resources क्यों आप environment everything.
Okay.
But अगर करते हो, then you have to.
Then it should be the best.
It has to be the best.
Oh, lovely. That's a very sweet message, and I think very in depth. कि आप वेस्ट मत करो और अगर प्रिंट करना है तो बढ़िया से बढ़िया बेहतर से बेहतर करो.
Otherwise, what's the point? नहीं तो फिर आप you'll keep for about a year or two and then you'll say अरे you'll discard that. Print something that you would want to keep for the next generation or want to keep for years together.
Correct. So, I mean, आज के अगर you want to know about your grandparents and yours, you might have soft copies, but what if you don't have? At least you should have some memory. Like we have old photographs, and those are very close to our heart. We keep those very close to our important belongings.
Like I ask people, you show me your first few digital photographs, or you have the first 5 digital photographs that you've taken. Many of them they say, sorry, आपने लिए क्यों थे वो photograph? Because that moment was special, right?
Yeah.
But you lost them.
Yes.
Don't print everything. At least
the important ones.
Lovely
message.
Photo book बनाओ आप. साल में एक ही photo book बनाओ.
Lovely.
Don't print in huge numbers. Just one photo book every year of 200-250 photographs.
Lovely. Vimal, this point of yours makes me feel that someone who's listening, he's once a young guy who's got interest in photography, he could run a business in terms of giving prints of your favorite moments in life. Like my child, when he walked for the first time, or my son and daughter, when they walked for the first time, I had those videos, but I don't have it now because it got deleted somewhere.
True.
But if I had those photographs, it would have been a memory for kids.
Just one photo book.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Every year. That's it. That's all. 200-250 photographs. Lovely. And in the entire family. Entire family.
Right.
Put them into a folder.
Very
sort them out. Remove all those unnecessary selfies and all those things. 250 odd photographs, 200 to 300 photographs, one photo book. That's it.
I think every person in India should have one photo book of his own, personal, customized.
And then look at it from the consumer benefits first. I'm not promoting printing because the industry benefits. No, it's primarily because it benefits the end customer.
How would you say that?
अगर आपके फोटोग्राफ्स गुम हो गए,
करेक्ट,
बेनिफिट आपको पहले होता है ना. प्रिंटर तो बाद में आता है, फोटोग्राफर बाद में आता है, मीडिया मैन्युफैक्चरर बाद में आता है. इट्स द एंड कंज्यूमर दैट स्टैंड्स टू बेनिफिट इफ दे प्रिंट.
उनका मेमोरी है.
उनका memory है.
Correct, I got it.
And then of course the industry benefits.
It pushes the industry much forward.
Absolutely. Look at the volume of business that would then happen.
True. Very well said and very well thought. Appreciate those words and hope people take cognizance of it and do action. Yeah, I'm sure. But then I have not, and I would also seriously consider doing it. That's very nice. So Vimal, would like to go back to your journey, where it all started, where were you born, a little bit about the whole thing.
Oh, my mother tongue is Gujarati, but I never stayed in Gujarat.
Achha.
I was born in Calcutta. We were railway contractors, my grandfather, and so we were born in Calcutta. But then I was 5. We moved to a place called Orissa. We moved to a place called Berhampur in Orissa. Yeah, that's where I did my schooling and my college. So right from school time, I was interested in photography. Then we had a small business there. We had an ice factory and a cold storage. So my uncle would send me, my dad would send me to get some, letterheads and bill books to be printed. I used to visit those presses. My uncle was a small time publisher, an Odia magazine used to publish. So I used to go to the press. And that the sound of letterpress, it was like music. I enjoyed that, and probably it was that was the starting point. And I said, "यार मुझे तो ये print field में ही जाना है,
ये industry में रहना है."
And the idea was
which year are we talking about? How old were you then?
Well, 82. 82 is when I finished my graduation. So 82 I finished my graduation, and it was.
But you would have taken a decision to get into this industry before your graduation. I assume that you've done your graduation in
so 77 printing. No, graduation was BCom.
Graduation was BCom.
Immediately after that, I said it wasn't during college. Photography happened. I was interested in photography right from my school onwards. And then I started going to this the local press over there, and kind of
you got interest hooked onto it.
Yeah, hooked on. I said, "Yaar, mujhe," and the idea was to study printing, come back to Berhampur and set up my own press.
Yeah,
that was the idea.
You wanted to be an entrepreneur?
Yeah, I mean we came from a business family. Jagah thi, sab tha.
Sure.
So, and then when I came here, I came to the admission was at Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan. They had Rajendra Prasad Institute of Communication Management behind Wilson College on Marine Drive. So that's where the classes were. So it was a 2 years course. 82. Immediately after college, I came to Bombay, got enrolled. मालूम भी नहीं था कि printing कहाँ सीखने जाऊँ. And then that time I used to use those wakils ke greeting cards and all. So there used to be one Mr. Rao who used to teach us one of the subject over there. And then I came to know he was from wakils. So I went up to him and I said, "Sir, मुझे wakils में अगर मुझे कुछ सीखने को मिलेगा तो." And then he called me there, kind of an interview, and I joined as an apprentice.
Lovely.
And 2 years I was there in the process department.
Lovely.
And then they liked my work. So 1 year I was at Wakils, and then after that I joined Akfa Gawat India Limited. Yeah, the name later on, I think 94 or something, it changed to Allied Photographics India Limited. So, and then 2002 I joined Technova. So 2002.
How many years
retired in 2019. Then as a consultant I was there for additional 2 years.
Almost 19 years.
I'm still associated with them.
So 90 and counting.
Including Allied and Technova.
I'm sure.
It's like an extended family.
Once I believe you make a relation, you maintain it for the longest of periods. So the relations will always continue.
बड़े मुश्किल से तो relation बनते हैं. तो
True.
It takes so many years, ना? ऐसे कोई ट्रेन में जाते हो, प्लेन में जाते हो, मिलते हैं. Those relations are like, but these relations are, it's like you spend more time at work.
Yes, so, true.
Like family, extended family.
True. So how many years in for the photo industry now for you?
So 82 when I joined ACFA, then it was 85 when I joined ACFA. 82 to 84 I was in Wakils. 85 when I joined ACFA, I was as a graphic technician. So since I came from a print background, so we had 3 divisions there. Photo, medical and graphic arts. So I was in the graphic art. Troubleshooting basically, where film develop नहीं होता है, typesetting paper नहीं process होता है, and also market those products. So I was not into the photo division at that time, but because of my interest for photography, after my working hours I used to visit all these newspapers. The photographers would sit late So generally they were available.
Okay.
And I would read about them in the names and all that. So I said, lovely pictures. So I would go and meet them. And then I asked my regional manager for permission that can I take some samples and show them. And he was very happy, very supportive. And then, so though officially I was not into the photo division at Aqua, I mean, I would still meet people, meet photographers, show them our products, help some of them with exhibitions. And so then when in 92 when I got transferred to Bangalore, 92 to 98 I was in Bangalore. So at that time it was part of the product, the entire portfolio then.
So almost तो 30 years तो पक्का है और उसके पहले से भी association तो था ही.
Yeah.
So 38 years you've been associated with this industry. So tell us the things about this industry that generally people don't know. Something, the good, the bad, the not so known, the not so famous, something.
Oh, photography?
Overall, as a industry.
Oh, imaging as a whole, it's an amazing industry. I mean, there is nothing bad about it. Trust me.
I'm sure. Sweet people.
It's amazing. Even look at the products. Everything starts, the moment you see everything in print, it starts from photography, right? Print to baad mein aata hai. It starts with either photography or an illustrator or a graphic designer who puts everything in place.
Correct.
Print comes much. That's the final. That's the end when it gets consumed.
Correct.
So the industry, I've enjoyed not a single day. I felt that I'm working. It's a pleasure being there.
Passion.
Looking forward to go to the office every day.
Lovely.
Yeah, I was part of several products that were introduced in the country for the first time. Phototype setting paper, chlorobromide paper, resin coated paper, the works. Non-tear with Technova, it was medical imaging film, non-tear substrates.
Yeah.
So I'll say I was fortunate that I was part of this. All the companies that I was with, right from Vakils, I mean, the kind of cards they would print, the kind of innovation they would do in the process department that I was. ACFA was another later allied, of course, amazing work, that new products. So I've been fortunate to be in these companies. Technova, the entire journey, a lot of innovation happens at Technova.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Amazing innovation, the kind of freedom that all the companies would give us. The freedom to make mistakes. I think that's the biggest. The non-tear Nova Life, what we
LMO is more popularly known as. I think you guys created a market in that non-existed. I mean, entire segment in photography with LMO was created by Technova single-handedly, and I believe HP ably supported with their machines.
Absolutely. It's like two people when they come together. To help the industry as a whole, it creates wonders.
Right.
So
that reminds me of a phrase when you desire for something from deep down your heart, the entire universe conspires together to help you achieve it. And this is a classic example of that.
All credit to HP, all credit to one of our customers, Mr. Raman from Coimbatore, Blue Color Lab. I mean, he experimented with it.
He was willing.
And then, the interest that HP took, interest that Technova took to kind of work together.
Right.
And it happened. Right. Look at where the industry is today.
Right,
Probably we are the only ones in the world where wedding albums are made on a non-tear substrate.
Right.
So all three of them.
An entirely huge market created. That's the beauty.
Look at the possibility if people come together and they work. But thanks to all of them.
I'm sure each one of them, whoever was a part of the project. Technova as a culture being able to give that freedom to the team ki aap karo.
Absolutely. LMO, being successful, but the road from where we started to reach that point of that success, that was tough. That nobody, it's difficult to.
कोई वो देखता ही नहीं, किसको पता भी नहीं चलता. Something you want to share in terms of difficulties that you faced in terms of.
A lot of failures. So we were trying to work something with the studio in the inkjet market, passport photographs. So we thought, why do people? What is the end use of a passport photograph? To paste somewhere, right, on forms or something. So we thought a synthetic substrate, a self-adhesive substrate would work. But 2 years probably we worked, and I was
did not
part
have a
of
market.
that.
Did not pick
Everybody
up.
would say that बढ़िया product hai, too good, but it somehow didn't pick up. But then we gathered a lot of knowledge about the industry.
I'm sure.
While I did come from photography industry, all this, the contacts, the kind of inputs that we got from them, that helped when we introduced then LMO, now No Alive. So
Correct.
that's how it's been.
Lovely. I mean, in terms of the print industry, I'm not typecasting it into photo alone. The entire print industry, they kind of are they sometimes feel that there are some challenges in terms of growth, in terms of future. Not all companies are being able to scale up. What are your views, having worked with different organizations as an employee and as partners in terms of collaboration? The ones who are successful, why are they successful, and the ones who are not, why are they not? Any thoughts around that?
Sometimes either we are before time. Certain products we think that the market would accept. Sometimes we are way before time, ahead of time, and that's when the market is not ready. So that has happened. And sometimes we might be ready, the product may be ready, but the way we deliver, the way we educate the market,
Correct.
that's probably not done.
Or the team is not in place, something of that sort.
We've not been able to convince the end user as to what is the benefit that they would. सबसे पहले तो यह है कि why did we come out with the product? Did we do some market study? Did we research? Did we find out what are the pain points? Many times it happens that people bring in products and then they find कि इसका market कहाँ मिलेगा. Rather it should be the other way around. Find pain points and see if you can innovate and can bridge that gap. So everything can be sold.
Yeah.
Right. Everything can be sold. Find ways and means. Find your target audience. By what is it that I can make? Where can I market? Who are my customers? Who could be a potential buyer?
Correct.
Contact them, Milo, utilize all the marketing skills, see what innovation
what can you do? I mean, जो हो गया वो हो गया, पर अभी आप क्या कर सकते हो उसके बारे में? And first thing, try not to get into something which you don't understand.
Yeah. But if you already jumped into it, then find a way out. And there's always a way out. There's always a way out. Do some homework. Involve customers, involve buyers. What are your pain points? क्या हम कर सकते हैं? मेरा capability ये है. This is what I can do. Tell me what is it that I can fulfill your requirements, your needs. There's a possibility.
Correct.
Of course there's a possibility.
Correct.
Why not?
Nice. Interesting perspective. So tell me something about what people don't know about Vimal in terms of his journey. Something that you would want people to know that ये मेरा कहानी है, which people are not aware of.
नहीं, मेरी अकेली की कहानी नहीं है, because people have helped me a lot. Every industry that I've been into, there's nothing that I've done on my
any
own.
specific individuals that you been along
many
the
of them. You take off Technova, the entire organization, people with whom I talk of Allied or ACFA, which was earlier, all of them. You talk of Vakils. I'm in the environment that Arun Bhai and Sudha Bhabi had created, and look at every individual. Yeah, right. Every individual has helped me.
Yeah, I'm sure. The journey is.
Mr. Rao, he helped me to get into
Vakils.
Yeah. And then
the culture which motivated and boosted you to do more.
The value system. एक आदमी नहीं वो सिखा सकता. It's that DNA of the organization, which is what was again in Allied. That the DNA of being customer centric.
Correct.
And the same thing with Technova. Every individual, the culture at Technova is difficult to, unless and until you aren't associated with Technova, it's very difficult to explain the kind of culture that we have. It's an amazing.
I hear this very often about Technova. And what is it that one thing that you would say about Technova which everyone should imbibe? कि ये करोगे तो probably it will help you. One thing which is unique about Technova.
Everybody talks. There are several things. One is you're very customer centric. Very customer centric. Right?
Okay.
I'm emphasizing the word. And then people centric.
People centric as well.
Organization, the staff, people, who are working over there. What the management does for customers, it's the same respect that they have for people working in the organization, the kind of freedom that is given, the kind of challenges that are given, and the outlook to innovate. The name Technova is innovation and technology and innovation.
Technology
and we mean it. I mean, though I have retired from Technova, I still use the word we. I still feel so close to Technova.
I'm sure.
The kind of innovation that happens, the kind of how failures are treated. I remember I was given a medical imaging project and it didn't work. I mean, बहुत, like we say jute घिसे, but it didn't work. So I went to the CEO and I said, sir, this is not working. And he said, doesn't matter. If people are not willing to buy the product, then it's okay. We'll move ahead.
That culture is there.
That culture is there.
Acceptance of failure.
Yes, acceptance of failure.
I'm sure that would be something which is strikingly different about Technova and makes it what it is.
The kind of innovation, the kind of education that happens, the kind of training that happens, and I could probably go on and on.
Lovely.
Yeah.
So
it's a Gurukul.
I can. I was also reading a lot. You are an editor to a lot of journals, if I'm using the term right.
Not an editor. I write for.
You write. Okay.
I'm the India editor for a B2B publication.
Okay.
Called AMV NEWS. It's published from US.
Okay.
Since 1983. So I just contribute a page of what's happening in India. It's a B2B publication.
Okay. It's a global publication.
They send out across the world.
So it's like once a year, once a month?
Once a month.
Once a month, every month you have an article?
So
nice.
I just write brief.
I think that's a great privilege to be selected.
So because of that, there are people across the globe, they kind of sometimes
network,
get in touch with me.
We
want to come to India. What is it that we can do?
Lovely.
So that happens. Then there's Smart Photography magazine. I write on, so everything is related to print otherwise. So I promote print to photographers when I write in Smart Photography.
Okay.
So I got about 5 pages is what they've allocated to me.
That's quite a lot.
Every month.
Nice.
And it's all about print. So I talk about fine art printers, I talk about photography, why you should print is what I write about. Then there's a Hindi publication known as Studio News. So of course, I don't write in Hindi, I write in English, they translate. So again over there it's open, it's about print, it's about marketing, it's about a variety of subjects.
Nice.
And then there is a magazine called Corporate Citizen that's published from Pune. So there I give platform to people who are good photographers but amateurs. They are not professional.
Okay.
Generally, what happens is an amateur photographer doesn't get a platform. Very difficult for them to
get recognition.
Yeah. So I try to identify amateurs who are good photographers, and then I give them those 2 pages to share the pictures, write about those images. That's what I do. So these are the magazines that I write for, and then there's one more in the pipeline that we'll talk.
I'm sure the industry will get to know as and when it happens. All the best to you on that.
Thank you so much.
Great. I mean, I wouldn't want to drag this conversation longer because for the interest of our viewers and paucity of time, I'll just take it towards the last 2 questions we generally ask all our guests in terms of how this podcast should be going ahead. So I got to meet you, as I mentioned at the start. So, and that's when I wanted you to be on the podcast. Is there someone in your mind you think could be a great guest for us who could kind of give value addition to our viewers?
Sujit, I'll put it the other way. Of course, we would like to listen to people who made it so good in the industry, and all the names, right? But if you could get someone from tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 cities, if we can give them a platform, and this platform, if you could,
Lovely.
Let's hear what are their challenges. True. How are they, what are they doing?
True.
That's where the future market is going to come from, right? I recently I went to a small town called Bhanjanagar in Orissa. It doesn't even have a railway station. The population is just about 25,000. They've got 6 offset units, small offset units. I visited about 3 of them. Amazing it is, the kind of work they do. Nothing fancy, but single color wedding cards, leaflets.
Nice.
Their challenges are different.
Nice.
Their, the kind of work that they print is different. If you could give,
Yeah,
they are the ones. If a platform could
actually,
be given.
you're the second one. Amit had mentioned this, Amit Shah of Spectrum Scan,
right.
that we should get into the interiors of India,
Yes,
and that is where the real story is. We are actually looking for that, and that's the reason we have taken up this place, this studio that we are sitting in, to get guests from outside.
Yes,
because when they travel to Mumbai, they wouldn't have to worry कि यार मैं कहाँ से ये करूँ. So we've got this place and we are inviting people. So through this platform, I would also want to tell anyone who's wanting to share, or they know of someone who could be a good story to be shared with the world, please let us know. We would be more than happy to have.
There are many, small town, and they're doing amazingly well.
I'm sure. There are so many, and we are looking forward to have each one of them.
Great.
So we do usually one a week. So we would be more than happy to have any number of them in the sequence that we can.
Great.
And the last question is for us in terms of, you did this podcast with us. How did you find it, and any suggestions for us on how could we improve it and do it better?
As I shared with you earlier, I'm loving it. I'm really liking it. The way, the kind of guests that you have been bringing in, the kind of questions, it's when we know certain things about general people, but when they talk, they open up, they talk about things we weren't probably aware of.
Right.
So it's amazing. Thank you, for bring forth this.
Yeah, we're trying our best in terms of getting the stories, and I think stories motivate, stories inspire.
Absolutely.
And stories give you hope during tough times.
Absolutely.
And that's the whole idea.
And there's so much to learn from every episode. I went through a couple of them, over a period of time. They're amazing. For everyone, there is something or the other to learn.
Even probably it could be one point for you, but then that can change your life.
Very inspiring stories. Keep them coming.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks for your time. Really appreciate, Vimal.
Thank you so much. Lovely having me here.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Right.
अधिक जानकारी के लिए हम आपको दूसरे एपिसोड में भी लेके जाएंगे. तब तक के लिए आप हमें आज्ञा दीजिए. आपके इन्फॉर्मेशन आप हमें ज़रूर से रिव्यू करें. हमारा ये एपिसोड आपको कैसा लगा वो भी आप हमें व्हाट्सएप कर सकते हैं 9223392434 AMV न्यूज़.